Brother teacher here. Are you in a relationship currently, or have you been in past relationships and the subject of you or your partner looking at the opposite sex or at someone else just in general and admiring their beauty or their looks, the shape of their body, and so forth? Is that okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm sure those of you that know me by now know I wouldn't do anything less than tell you the truth. It's real simple. Sometimes, and admittedly more often than not, people that are in relationships, committed relationships, and not so committed relationships have a tendency to be a bit jealous when their partner sees someone else attractive. God forbid that you verbally admit that someone else is attractive and don't think that you're going to receive some repercussion verbally, hopefully not physically, afterwards. You find this more common with women, albeit men can have a jealousy streak as well. I'm a man, I've been there. But you must remember some key things. This is not complicated. First of all, if you are dating right now and you're looking for that someone, make very certain that you take your time and don't be so quick to rush into a relationship. And don't let sex be the motivating factor. Sometimes and oftentimes that is the reason why people get into relationships so soon. They go to bed right away. And before you realize it, you're together. And after a period of time, sometimes months, sometimes even years being together, you are growing apart while you are within that relationship. And that could be for a number of reasons. It could be financially, one or both partners is struggling and have lost a job or in between jobs and so forth, and you're just not making it. And that could be a conflict. Sometimes it's because of habits that you didn't know that your potential partner possessed until later on in your relationship. It's easy to date someone when you have your separate addresses or residences, but it's a totally and entirely different thing when you move together. Then people start letting their hair down. You start finding out all the little quirks that the other person has about you and about life and their habits, their likes and dislikes, and so forth. And this can turn you off. That's why it is so important to get to know the person here first, in the heart first, before you make any physical move sexually. Now, getting back to the original question or premise of this video, is it okay that you admire or appreciate the beauty of another person outside of your partner? Absolutely, positively, yes, it's okay. Why not? If you are in a relationship where you are indeed committed, and I mean commission on both sides, it's mutual. For example, let's use me hypothetically. Let's say I'm not in a relationship right now. This is just hypothetical again. Let's say I'm with a young lady and I've been with her 5 years. Let's just say. And she loves me deeply and I love her the same. We have a lot of things in common, and there may be some things that we don't have in common. She has a lot of likes and dislikes, and so do I, and we both are afforded that because we're individuals. But we compromise and we get along very well together, and we talk, we have discussions, rational, constructive criticism about issues that we might be contending with in our lives, our everyday lives. Now, as it relates to her seeing someone, another man, attractive, I can appreciate that. Have no problem with that if I am settled with who I am, if I'm okay with me. And as long as I know that we have a commitment between the two of us, I'm not going to lose any sleep. The same should be true with her. If I see a young lady, and even if I make a comment, oh, she's really pretty, my wife, girlfriend, my other half, should never have any streak of jealousy because she knows who comes home to her every day. And she knows that I love her deeply and that I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize our relationship if we are in a committed relationship. That's a big if. So we don't worry about one another seeing someone else attractive as long as we keep it in perspective. It's just that simple. It is only when you start making statements off to the side and you start jeering at the other person and salivating at the mouth and looking hard and things of this sort that might make your partner want to question and or wonder what's going on with you. But again, if you're in a committed relationship, this shouldn't be an issue at all. It is the relationships that are not necessarily on a solid foundation already. Those happenstance type of relationships where you just bumped into each other one day and you had some casual sex and next thing you know, you're a couple. It's those types of situations that can garner resentment and even animosity, hatred for the partner because you're looking at someone else because your wife or your girlfriend might feel like you don't see her appealing anymore or that you think someone is better than her or better looking than her. That's insecurity, big time. And the same is true for the man. If the man is, let's say he's watching his wife watch another woman, not another woman, I slash that one, another man, we'll keep it that way. If she's watching another man and she makes a comment, boy, he is fine, look at his body. And you have a little beer belly and what have you, and you are a little probably on the out of shape type of situation, you might think in your mind like, well, what she see in him, he's not all of that, this kind of thing. Maybe you are a bit jealous, but should you be? You don't have to go through her phone and see if she's talking to somebody or texting somebody. But people in these types of uncommitted relationships have a tendency to do this. And then every time a woman watches you looking at another woman, she's constantly arguing with you and questioning you. Who is that woman you looking at? Where you know her from? And the same thing is true with the guy. If he sees the woman looking at a man, he says, did y'all go to school together, work together, what's going on? Do you see what I'm saying? So if you are trying to develop a relationship right now, make sure you think on these things. Make sure that you see things eye to eye. Give yourselves some time to grow together before you move in together or even become a couple. So if you are already in a relationship and it's already on rocky ground, so to speak, and you don't see your way clear to leave the relationship, or maybe you don't want to leave the relationship but you need some help in a relationship, start to talk to each other. Start to talk to each other like decent, mature human beings. And you be the best person. You be the better person. And I'm speaking to the male or the woman. Either one of you. Whichever one of you that has the problem, where you're struggling with the insecurity issues, open up without a lot of emotions involved. Have a conversation with your mate, heart to heart. And if they're not one that's really receptive to conversation, especially when you're talking about sensitive issues such as relationships, then try to build that within your relationship. Even though it may have not been built upon that in the very beginning, try to build upon it now. You will be surprised sometimes what a little kindness will do in your relationship. A lot of times people are always clashing, always arguing, and always debating. But they only want to come together in the bedroom for that moment. And then they're back to the old them. It's not all about sex. It's about you and your partner being a partner perpetually. if that's what you really want. If you want to be happy, try to make one another happy and not look at things just as it should be for you, the individual. It's all about me. Forget about her. And she shouldn't look at it as it's all about me, forget about him. It's about both of you. Okay? This is Brother Teacher. If you have any comments, please leave it in the comment section below. And if you have a similar experience of jealousy, or where you feel like your man is looking at a lot of women, or he's getting a lot of attention on the job because there's a lot of women around and so forth, or maybe you think he's even talking to women on the phone or texting women and so forth, have a conversation. And the same is true, guys. If you think your woman is not interested in you anymore, if you think, a lot of times thinking can be deceiving. You know, you can imagine some things that don't even exist. They're only in your mind. You're delusional. Talk to your partners. Okay? This is Brother Teacher. I'm out.